How many defenders is too many defenders? Yes, that's right. As you've just seen, Chelsea have yet been linked with another centre-back. And I quote from Fabrizio Romano, they love Tomás Araújo. For me, I think this would be a Disasi replacement, and it would definitely be an upgrade. So today, we're going to be breaking down his strengths, weaknesses, and what Chelsea fans or any other football fan can expect from this young Benfica star. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you are returning, make sure you hit that like button to support this channel. Centre backs has become one of the most important parts of a successful team, and Chelsea are looking to identify more strength in depth. Araújo is arguably one of the most complete centre backs Benfica have produced in years. When you think of the characteristics centre backs should have, he ticks a lot of boxes. You're doing something right when you're keeping Antonio Silva out the side. When you think of centre-backs these days, especially under an Enzo Maresca system, they need to be quick and comfortable in a high line, be comfortable defending wide spaces, but also need to be progressive and positive in possession. So let's get into it. Let's begin with his positional play, and perhaps the biggest reason why Chelsea have identified Araújo as one of their ideal signings is because he's more than comfortable playing as a centre-back or right-back. And this is two areas where Chelsea are keen to strengthen. Now, before we get on to his defensive characteristics, it's important to understand what type of shape Benfica defended in, and usually they defend in a 4-4-2, which is very similar to Chelsea, so it wouldn't be something he's not used to. But the majority of his interventions, such as tackles, interceptions, do come in the central areas. But in case of a high turnover or a quick turnover from the opposition, when Chelsea are naturally structured at three at the back, he's more than comfortable defending wide areas. Araújo is a player with excellent mobility and body shape. Body orientation shows he's prepared to retreat into space, but yet he's always prepared to step forward and contest in duels. When it comes to the art of interventions, his tackling is quite reserved. He tends to rely on the master of timing rather than aggression. He's more aggressive on the ball than he is off the ball. Araújo is a master of timing and angling, and with experience, he's continued to impress his ability to time his challenges. Anytime a ball is played over the top of the defensive line or into a forward's feet, he coolly handles a situation. He's got quite a calming presence alongside his daring speed. So his pace and power make him unbelievably difficult to bypass in transition. Since he's come into Benfica's senior team, he's matured into a defender that utilises a less aggressive edge to accomplish a sense of assuredness and a good awareness. This means he can calculate his aggressiveness without stepping over the edge. And if you look at his defending, 9 times out of 10 he stays on his feet and he likes to go shoulder to shoulder. This just goes to show that he's calm in situations, but he also angles his body in such a way makes it difficult for forwards to cut inside or even go on the outside. And this just forces him into a one-on-one battle when 9 times out of 10 he comes out on top. This level of astute awareness of when to step onto his opponents and get touch tight speaks volumes for his tactical intelligence. So he's quite clever in the way he defends. He quite reminds us of Ruben Diaz. He's very rarely seen going to ground in a desperate attempt to win the ball. He's got impressive anticipation, and this ensures that he spots moments of when to engage, when to step in and win the ball. This is why I think he'll be comfortable in wide areas and why we've seen him be comfortable in wide areas, because when he's left one-on-one against an opponent, he adopts a low body position, which is correct, and he jockeys and waits for the right moment to use a step tackle. That low body position and good angling allows him to react quickly if an opponent tries to push the ball beyond him. Managed to do this. This is where he relies on his quick speed to get back and make a challenge without having to go to ground. So what's his pace like in identifying how to defend space? Well, he's a very good athlete who covers the ground really well. Spoke about his ability to challenge opponents and defend in wide areas, but the majority of teams now play with a high line, so the importance of having pace to cover space in behind is a priority. And this is why Araújo has shined at Benfica, because he has that pace, he has that awareness and concentration to track runners. And we've seen it time and time again at Benfica, and this is probably why he's averaging 7.2 ball recoveries per 90, which has him in the top 1 percentile across Europe. This all stems from his good body position, his body orientation. This allows him to scan his surroundings and identify opposition threats. So before we move on to aerial duels, let's have a look at some of his statistics. Well, he's sitting very highly for tackles per 90 with 2.2, interceptions per 90 with 1.29. But what stands out to me, what characteristic stands out to me, is his clearances. He's sitting at 2.2, which is quite low, respective of central defenders. Flip this to a positive, because the way I see it is he's not just clearing the ball for name's sake. He's retreating the ball and looking to find a teammate in possession, and that's a very, very, very big asset to any defender. Unsurprisingly, Araújo ranks highly in aerial duels. He's averaging 70.9% win percentage of his aerial duels. This just highlights he's able to contest with opponents, but it also makes him a threat in both boxes, both defensively and offensively. Nowadays, playing out the back is imperative for the majority of teams. We've already seen what Levi Colwell's capable of in this Chelsea side. So if you can bring in a right centre-back that's just as good on the ball, Chelsea have just got an extra dimension to how to break down the opposition press. Tomás Araújo's ability on the ball is incredibly good, with passing and ball control being two of his biggest strengths. Vertical passing, diagonal passing, passing under pressure, dribbling through pressure, dribbling through space. He can comfortably do it all. In terms of my initial observations of Tomás Araújo in possession, I've got absolutely zero concerns. His ability in possession is outstanding. His passing range, he's comfortable stepping into midfield. He's got calmness under pressure. And this just brings a sense of stability. I just love how technically astute he is, how forward-thinking he is. And what I love about him, the majority of his passes are all progressive. Not just for show, they're with a sense of purpose. His passes, his vertical passes into midfield, his diagonal passes out of the wings, they tend to just move the team forwards, which inevitably would move Chelsea into more dangerous areas. In a nutshell, Tomás Araújo has an impressive passing range, more than just a reassurance presence for midfielders to recycle possession. He plays progressive passes and dangerous passes out of defence. He's happy to play vertical passes into midfield or chip longer passes in behind from deep. I'm sure Nicholas Jackson would thrive from this. So he brings a sense of assuredness and oozes class on the ball. He's a technically gifted footballer, and he's confident carrying the ball out from the back or just playing out from the back. He's up there with the best ball-playing defenders in the world. So it's no mystery why Enzo Maresca thinks that he's a perfect player to seamlessly fit into his plans. He's sitting in the top 10 percentile for passes attempted, but also passes completed, which just shows the high level accuracy that he's got. And these stats are insane for a centre-back. He's sitting in the top 10 percentile for progressive passes distance, short passes completed, medium passes completed, and long passes completed. But he's also sitting in the top 10 percentile for passes into the final third, passes into the penalty area, and progressive passes. Also sitting in the top 1 percentile for through balls. This just goes to highlight his ability to identify teammates in dangerous positions, but also making the right decision in possession. So as a ball passer and progressor, quick thinking in high pressure situations is phenomenal. This allows him to identify what to do in possession, whether it be play against the pressure, play through the gaps, or when to recycle possession and allow his team to reset before switching the play. Even his chance creating metric stands out. He's averaging 1.59 shot creating actions per 90. This just highlights his level of awareness to identify runners, but also have the ability to execute the pass to find those runners. And out of that 1.59 shot creating actions per 90, 1.14 of them come from live passes. So his ability to find space, receive the ball, and then quickly progress play through the thirds is simply outstanding. But just how comfortable is he dribbling out from the back? Well, as you can see, he's got no qualms about moving into midfield with the ball, whether he be under pressure or with space available. So if no pass exists, he's capable of breaking the lines of pressure, carrying the ball into midfield. But he does it with speed, intelligence, and he also is comfortable attracting opponents towards him. This frees up teammates elsewhere. This is something that's helped by the pauses and acceleration he uses to create new passing lanes. It's no surprise to see that his statistics stands out in this metric as well. Sitting in the top 3 percentile for take-ons attempted, but also successful take-ons. And he sits extremely low for being tackled during a take-on. But it's his progressive carries and his progressive carry distances that speak out the most. In the top 8 percentile for both of them respectively. I can't even lie to you, Tomás Araújo is one of the most complete natural defenders there is in the modern day game. Just to emphasize that, in the Portuguese league, he's made 46 appearances across 4 years and he's not had one error leading to a goal. But more impressively, he's not had one error even leading to a shot. So for a player that touches the ball as much as him, you would expect at least one error, but he's not error prone at all. I can't lie, I was taken away by that statistic. The only slight thing, he might have to be a little bit more aggressive, because I do find the Premier League a little bit more physical than the league in Portugal. So I do expect him to up his physicality a little bit, but that's probably the only weakness I can give him. He doesn't have a standout significant weakness. I do believe he would be not only an upgrade on Disasi, he would be a strong addition to this Chelsea side. If Chelsea want to compete for the Premier League title, for Champions League titles, they need better squad depth. So there we go, guys. There is the end of the episode. And I hope you've enjoyed this, because I've certainly enjoyed making it. But if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. But once again, thanks for sticking around. Enjoy the rest of your day.